Tired of your Gomar ratting you out to the feds? Sick of your capo sweating you over that missing envelope? Or maybe you just need to sleep through a sit-down like it's a spa day in Sicily. Introducing Gonezo, the only sleeping pill approved by 3 out of 5 mob doctors and 1 very tired consigliere. 1 pill and bam, like you got hit with a blackjack behind Rocco's. But you wake up fresh, no bruises, no wiretaps, and no regrets. Real customer testimony. I took Gonezo before my arraignment. Woke up in Tijuana with a new name and a suitcase full of counterfeit 20s, 5 stars. Gino the Fork Abatacola. Now with our patented forget about it formula, Gonezo erases shame, guilt, and 3 to 5 hours of your last regrettable night at the Velvet Lounge. Warning, side effects may include sudden urges to flee the country, thinking you're bulletproof, marrying your Gumar's cousin during a blackout in Atlantic City. Ask your bookie if Gonezo is right for you, or don't. He's probably already on it. Gonezo, sleep like you ain't got priors.
Mugs, what the fuck you doing in there, you prick?
Ava and Frank, Love, Power, and the Mob. A Pizzaverse Studios documentary. A Palermo Productions original. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent Di Prio. The world hailed Ava Gardner and Frank Sinatra as the love story of the century. The cameras loved them. The papers worshipped them. The public saw passion, glamour, jealousy, and scandal wrapped up in diamonds and flashbulbs. But behind the red carpets and the kisses was something much darker. Behind that romance was a contract. A bloody one. A contract protected by some of the most ruthless men in organized crime. A contract enforced by fear, violence, surveillance, and debt. And once that contract was signed, there was no walking away clean. To protect her love and her career, Ava Gardner made a devastating mistake. She allowed the underworld into her life. And evil never works for free. What began as protection turned into possession. What looked like glamour became captivity. What the public called romance became, in truth, a hostage crisis hidden behind studio lighting and tabloid headlines. This is not the story of a legendary Hollywood love affair. This is the story of what happens when fame goes begging to the underworld. And the underworld decides it wants ownership. The collapse that started it all. A decade earlier, Frank Sinatra had been the king of American music. He was the boy idol. The voice. The man who made girls faint in the aisles of the Paramount Theater. But by the dawn of the 1950s, Frank Sinatra was finished, or at least it looked that way. His vocal cords had suffered a serious hemorrhage. He woke up spitting blood into sinks. His voice, the only true weapon he ever had, was failing him. The industry smelled weakness immediately. His record standing collapsed. His film contract dried up. The public turned on him with the viciousness only America can produce when it decides to eat its own idols. He was broke, humiliated, abandoned, and staring at the possibility that his career was over. Ava Gardner, meanwhile, stood at the complete opposite end of the ladder. Born December 24th, 1922, she was beauty, power, heat, mystery, the full package. One of MGM's crown jewels. A woman who generated millions with a glance. Frank didn't just want Ava. He needed Ava. He needed her beauty. He needed her relevance. He needed her press. He needed to stand in her light because his own had nearly gone out. But even Ava Gardner's star power couldn't solve one brutal problem. Hollywood is a machine. And when that machine decides you're poison, beauty alone won't save you. Frank needed muscle. So when the agent stopped helping and the studio system stopped believing, Frank Sinatra did what desperate men have always done. He went into the dark. The devil's favor. The mafia does not operate like a charity. It lends influence the way a loan shark lends money. With interest. With leverage. With collections that never end. The Chicago outfit and its powerful bosses didn't look at Frank Sinatra and Ava Gardner and see romance. They saw a business opportunity. A washed-up singer with a famous name. A world-famous actress at the height of her commercial value. A couple whose celebrity could open doors that armed thugs never could. Frank needed resurrection. The mob needed access. That's how these things start. Not with a gunshot. With a favor. Frank desperately wanted the role in From Here to Eternity. That role would become the comeback. The role that turned him from damaged goods into an Academy Award winner. And yes, while the mythology around Sinatra's comeback has always carried whispers of mob influence, the truth is more complicated. Ava lobbied hard. Frank agreed to work cheap. Studio resistance cracked. But once the comeback happened, the outfit was more than happy to claim the debt anyway. That's how power works. Even when it doesn't directly hand you the prize, it still shows up to collect. Frank had stepped back into the light. But now there were men in the wings waiting for payment. Protected assets. Very quickly, Frank and Ava learned the price of protection. When gossip columnists pushed too hard. When critics humiliated Frank. When reporters got too aggressive. The answer didn't come from lawyers. It came in the form of fear. The underworld became their unofficial public relations department. Not with press releases. With violence. Journalists who took shots at Sinatra found themselves facing consequences. The message was unmistakable. These people are protected. These people belong to somebody now. And in the beginning, Ava tolerated it. Maybe more than tolerated it. Maybe she enjoyed the feeling of power that came with it. That's the ugly truth in stories like this. Nobody thinks they're being swallowed whole in the beginning. They think they're in control. They think they're riding the beast. They think they can use the darkness without becoming part of it. But you do not hire the mafia to clean your house and expect them to leave the keys on the table. They move in. They change the locks. They become the deed. Frank and Ava stopped being independent stars. They became protected assets. And assets do not belong to themselves. Glamour as cover. Their fame became a weapon. Frank and Ava were no longer just celebrities. They were camouflage. They were sent to the places where the underworld needed glamour. Havana, Las Vegas, casino floors, private dinners, back rooms, political gatherings. Ava Gardner walking through a lobby could blind a room. That was the point. Because while the cameras chased her dress and the tourists chased her smile, the men upstairs could conduct business in peace. Money moved. Territories were discussed. Deals were cut. And crime hid behind celebrity. Ava became the magician's misdirection. A diamond-clad decoy. A beautiful shield for ugly business. And once she understood that, the horror set in. She wasn't being admired. She was being deployed. The marriage turns into a prison. The pressure broke Frank first. He had wanted power. But he couldn't stand the humiliation that came with dependence. The men he went to for help did not treat him like a king. They treated him like an employee, a performer on call, a puppet with a famous face. So he took the poison home. He turned on Ava. He drank. He raged. He smashed furniture. He hurled accusations. He monitored her movements. He interrogated the people around her. He tried to dominate the one person he could still frighten without getting killed for it. Outside the house, he bowed to powerful men. Inside the house, he tried to become one. That is where the public got conned. People saw noise and passion and drama and decided it must be love. It wasn't love. It was control. It was fear. It was a man broken by forces bigger than himself, trying to reclaim power by crushing the woman closest to him. Ava fought back because that was her nature. She had clawed her way out of poverty and built herself into one of the most powerful women in Hollywood. She did not bend easily. So the fights became volcanic. Police were called. Fixers were dispatched. Studios panicked. Everybody wanted the mess contained. Because Ava Gardner's face made money and Frank Sinatra's comeback still had value, everybody wanted the product preserved. Nobody cared what it was doing to the people inside it. Blood, manipulation, and silence. Then the marriage got uglier. Frank's instability became theatrical, bloody, manipulative. He weaponized his own life. Gas left running. Self-harm. Threats. Bleeding scenes staged like emotional ambushes. Not because he was simply sad. Not because this was some tragic, poetic suffering. Because terror is leverage. And every time Ava was forced to rescue him, clean up after him, protect him, lie for him, cover for him, the chain tightened. She couldn't call the police. She couldn't go public. She couldn't make noise. Because noise meant scandal. And scandal meant consequences from the studios, from the press, and from the men in the dark suits who expected discretion from their investments. So the cleanup crews came. Doctors without questions. Cash-filled envelopes. Blood scrubbed out of carpets. Hotel staff bought into silence. And Ava sat there realizing the truth. She wasn't a wife. She was a co-signer on a lethal loan. Government moves in. And just when the underworld grip tightened, the federal government began squeezing from the other side. J. Edgar Hoover despised Sinatra, despised his influence, despised his underworld associations, despised everything he represented. The FBI watched. They tracked the movements, the trips, the friendships, the phone calls, the connections to Nevada, the whispers around Cuba, the shadow world hiding behind tuxedos and spotlight performances. Frank and Ava were trapped in a vice. On one side, organized crime demanding loyalty. On the other, the federal government trying to tear the whole machine apart. There was no safe place in the middle. The clicks on the phone line became part of daily life. The parked sedans, the men in the hotel lobbies, the silent pressure. They weren't living a glamorous life anymore. They were living under occupation. The breaking point. Ava began to disappear inside herself. The stress hollowed her out. Sleep left her. Weight dropped off her frame. Alcohol became survival. She still walked onto sets, still wore the dresses, still gave the camera what it wanted. But behind the face the world adored was a hostage. Then came the final brutal clarity. Pregnancy. In a normal marriage, a child might have meant hope. In this house, it meant catastrophe. Ava understood exactly what kind of world she was standing in. A world of blood on carpets, men with cash in paper bags, violent outbursts, studio cover-ups, and mob pressure humming through every wall. She made the decision she believed she had to make. And after that, something inside her hardened for good. Because the response around her told her everything she needed to know. Not compassion. Not healing. Not grief. Business. Schedules. Visibility. Earning power. Recovery as efficiency. That was it. That was the whole truth of the machine. She was an asset. A line item. A beautiful piece of expensive machinery expected to get back to work. So Ava stopped believing in rescue. And once a woman stops believing rescue is coming, she starts planning escape. The escape plan. She changed tactics. She stopped screaming back. Stopped wasting energy on arguments that couldn't save her. Stopped trying to win inside a rigged system. Instead, she went cold. She smiled in public. She attended the dinners. She played the part. But inside, she was drawing a map. Europe became the answer. Distance. Work abroad. Film shoots in Rome, Paris, Madrid. Anything that put an ocean between herself and the machinery that had closed around her. Frank didn't fully understand what was happening. He thought these were jobs. Trips. Temporary absences. He didn't realize Ava Gardner was planning an evacuation. When she left like someone escaping captivity. Jewels packed not for vanity, but for survival. Distance not for glamour, but for protection. Silence not for mystery, but because loose words get people killed. And when that plane door shut, it wasn't just the end of a trip. It was the sound of a lock breaking. Exile. Madrid gave her air. Not peace. Not safety. But air. She knew the reach of the outfit did not magically end at the border. You don't sever a blood debt with geography alone. And the reminders came. Silent watchers. Cars lingering too long. Flowers with no cards. Pressure from the studio system. Pressure through friends. Pressure through whispers. Come home. Your husband needs you. Running is bad for your health. But Ava refused. She chose smaller films. Foreign productions. Less money. Less glamour. Less spotlight. She sacrificed career for autonomy. And that, right there, is the part people never understand about real survival. Sometimes escape does not look like victory. Sometimes it looks like disappearing from the throne on purpose. Frank without the shield. Back in America, Frank started to drown. Without Ava, he was exposed. No more dazzling cover. No more glamorous shield absorbing attention. No more partnership that gave the whole operation polish. So the outfit leaned harder. More work. More performances. More political usefulness. More obligation. The celebrity became utility. The voice became service. The charm became access. The fame became infrastructure. And the deeper he sank, the more obvious it became that Frank Sinatra had not made a deal that could ever truly be repaid. The mob did not want one favor. It wanted permanent lease rights on the man. The tragedy of Frank Sinatra in this version of the story is not that he was powerless from the beginning. It's that he went looking for power and ended up owned by it. The final cut. By 1957, the illusion was done. The papers called it heartbreak, called it tragedy, called it the collapse of one of Hollywood's great romances. But those divorce papers were more than that. They were severance papers, escape papers, ransom papers. Ava did not just leave a marriage. She walked away from an entire structure of control. She chose exile over luxury, distance over prestige, uncertainty over beautifully decorated captivity. And that is why the ending matters. Because the public always remembers the glamour, the gowns, the cigarettes, the songs, the photographs. But the real story is smaller, colder, and meaner than that. Ava Gardner figured out the cost, and she paid it to get out alive. Frank Sinatra stayed with the machine he had helped feed. She walked away. That was the victory.
A town where everyone's got a script, and nobody's telling the truth. There's only one thing more powerful than talent: perception. You ever notice that, huh? Guy can't act, can't write, can't even hold a damn coffee cup, right? But somehow, he's the next big thing. Yeah, welcome to Hollywood, sweetheart. Introducing the Hollywood Reputation Rewrite. The only all-in-one system designed to turn your complete disaster of a career into an award-winning illusion. What's in the box? Oh, I'm glad you asked. The Crisis Vanisher Spray. Got a scandal? Spray it once. Boom. Now it's a misunderstanding. The Paparazzi Summoner app. You don't chase fame anymore. Fame chases you. Even if you're just picking up a latte looking like a bum. The Method Acting Excuse Kit. Acting weird? Rude? Completely out of your mind? Relax. You're not unstable. You're committed to the craft. The award season whisperer. Don't worry about performances. We got relationships. A few dinners, a couple favors. Next thing you know, you're crying on stage holding a statue you didn't earn. Beautiful thing. The image rebrand button. One click. You go from problematic train wreck, brave voice of a generation. Like magic. See, in this town, it ain't about what you did. It's about what people believe you did. So why leave your reputation to chance, huh? When you can control the narrative like a real professional. The Hollywood Reputation Rewrite. Because in Hollywood, the truth don't matter. But your publicist? Oh, that's everything. Side effects may include ego inflation, fake humility, sudden activism, mysterious accent changes, and an uncontrollable urge to thank your team. Hollywood, baby! Where even the lies got agents.
So when people talk about Ava Gardner and Frank Sinatra as the great doomed romance of old Hollywood, maybe they ought to slow the hell down for a second. Because maybe what they're really looking at isn't romance at all. Maybe they're looking at fame as entrapment, celebrity as camouflage, marriage as leverage, power as debt, and survival as the only honest form of rebellion left on the table. This story is not beautiful. It's not elegant. It's not the glamorous fairy tale the magazines sold the public. It's a story about what happens when desperate people invite predators into their lives and mistake borrowed power for freedom. Frank chose the cage because the bars were gold. Ava saw the cage for what it was, and understood that the only real victory was escape. And in the end, that's the truth that matters most. Not the kiss. Not the spotlight. Not the headlines. The escape. Thank you for watching Ava and Frank, Love, Power, and the Mob. This has been a Pizzaverse Studios documentary and a Palermo Productions original. Written by Bambi Palermo. Narrated by Vincent DiPrio. If you like deep dives into the stories behind the headlines, the power, the corruption, the psychology, the mythology, and the ugly truth buried underneath the glamour, make sure you stick with us. Because around here, we don't just retell the legend. We crack it open. We go past the headlines, past the public image, past the pretty lies, and we get to the blood underneath. If you enjoyed this documentary, hit the like button, subscribe, and step deeper into the Pizzaverse. More mob history. More Hollywood darkness. More hidden power. More stories the clean version never tells you. And as always, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and thank you for riding with the Pizzaverse. This is the Pizzaverse, where we don't rewrite history, we excavate it.
Chicago. A city built on steel, sweat, and guys who asked very uncomfortable questions. Back in the day, if somebody owed money, skipped out on a debt, or suddenly forgot how to speak English when the boss asked a question, well, let's just say the Chicago outfit had a system. Now you can bring a little of that legendary problem-solving power into your own home. Introducing the Chicago Outfit Truth Extraction Kit. That's right. For the low price of 3 easy payments of $19.29, because around here we respect tradition, you'll receive everything you need to turn any awkward conversation into a full confession. Inside every kit you'll find the Cicero conversation chair. Comfortable, sturdy, and positioned directly under the bright light of truth. The deluxe rubber hose. Perfect for encouraging honesty at family poker games. And of course, the Chicago Outfit Ledger Notebook. Because when somebody says they'll pay you tomorrow, you write that down. But wait, there's more. Order now and we'll include the emergency alibi generator. Just spin the wheel and instantly receive a classic Chicago excuse like, I was at church. I was with my cousin Tony. I never even heard of that guy. Or the all-time favorite. What murder? Thousands of satisfied customers are already talking. Mostly because the kit works. So the next time someone tells you, I swear, I don't know nothing, just smile, lean in close, and remember what Chicago taught us all. Everybody talks eventually. The Chicago Outfit Truth Extraction Kit. Available now. Exclusively from Pizzaverse Studios and Palermo Productions. Because sometimes you gotta solve problems. Chicago style.
Yeah, I done did a lot of things in my day, I admit it, I don't take back what I say. If I said it, then I meant it. All my life I won a Grammy, but I probably never get it. I ain't never had no trophy or no motherfucking ribbon. Fuck the system, I'm that nigga, bend the law, cut the rules. I'm about to risk it all, I ain't got too much to lose. Y'all been eating long enough, it's my turn to cut the food. Pass the plate, with my drink, this my day. Lucky you, fuck you too. Woo! Y'all gotta move, y'all gotta move. Gotta move, give me some room, give me some room, give me the juice. How about the coupe? How about the coupe? How about the shoot? Y'all gotta move, y'all gotta move, give me the juice. Back on my bullshit, my back to the wall, turn my back on you, all of you finished. Back to these bullets, it's back to the job, put my Mac out and all of you running. Back on my hood shit, it's back to the pushing, these taxing, I'm actually pumping. Can't fuck with you rappers, you practically sucking. You might have went platinum, but that don't mean nothing. I'm actually buzzing this time. Straight out the kitchen, I told them the oven is mine. I do not fuck with you guys. If I don't kill you, just know you gon' suffer this time. I ain't no gangster, but I got some bangers, some chains and some blazing, a couple of nines. Choppers and jimmies, a partridge, a petri. My 20s and Christmas was nothing but lies. I run at you hot like a sumo. They say I talk like a chulo. in the grass trying to slither fast. I just bought a fucking
I done said
lawnmower.
a lot of things in my day. I admit it, this is payback in a way. I regret it that I did it. I done won a couple Grammys, but I sold my soul to get them. Wasn't in it for the trophies, just the fucking recognition. Fuck's the difference, I'm that cracker, been the law, fuck the rules. Man, I used to risk it all, now I got too much to lose. I've been eating long enough, man, my stomach should be full. I just ate, lick the plate, my buffet. Lucky me, fuck you think. Woo! I got a couple of mentions, still I don't have any manners. You got a couple of ghostwriters, but to these kids it don't actually matter. They're asking me what the fuck happened to hip-hop. I said I don't have any answers, cause I took a nap when I dropped my last album. It hurt me like hell, but I'm back on these rappers. And actually coming from humble beginnings, I'm somewhat uncomfortable winning. I wish I could say what a wonderful feeling. We're on the upswing like we're punching the ceiling, but nothing is feeling like anyone has any fucking ability to even stick to a subject is killing me. The inability to pin humility. Why don't we make a bunch of fucking songs about nothing and mumble and bucket? I'm going for the juggler. Shit is a circus, you clowns that are coming up. Don't give an ounce of a motherfucker about the ones who were here before you that made rap. Let's recap, way back, and tease that. Recap on tape decks, 8 that's for the G-raps. Came that, we need 3 stacks, ASAP, and bring that the ace back, cause tats for these rappers have brain damage. All the lean rapping, face tats rubbed out like tree sap. I don't hate trap, and I don't wanna seem mad, but in fact, what I owe me at the same cat that would take that feedback and aim back. I need that, but I think it's inevitable. They know a button to press it will ever the pull to get me to snap though. And if I paid attention, I'm probably making it bigger, but you been taking your dicks on a fucking backhoe. On the freaking minute, got me thinking of finishing everything with a seed, a minute, and reaping the benefits. I'm asleep at the wheel again as I'm thinking about an evil intent of another beat. I'm a killigan, cause even if I got it in a beating, a pill again, even ketamine and methamphetamine with a mini tin, it better be at least 70 and 300 milligrams. And I might as well, cause I'ma end up being a villain again. Levels to this shit, I got an elevator. You could never say to me I'm not a fucking record breaker. I sound like a broken record every time I break a record. Nobody could ever take away the legacy I made. I never cater, motherfucker. Never got a right to be this way. I got spikes inside my DNA, but I roll till the wheels fall off. I'm working tirelessly. It's the moment y'all been waiting for, like California wishing rain to pour, and that drought y'all been praying for. My downfall from the 8 Mile to the South Pass to the same marshal, that outlaw that they say is a rider might have fell off. I'm back on that bull like the cowboy. So y'all gotta move, yeah. Y'all gotta move, yeah.
Y'all gotta move, give me some room, give me some room.